Probably the most rewarding car I've ever raced.
It's a great car. It's so challenging. I think the general consensus is that if you can drive a cup car well, you can drive pretty much anything.
Obviously the engine is at the back, so that can make it quite tricky when you first get in the car.
It's got plenty of power and the racing's close.
And that's why they're so rewarding. You know, when you get a lap correct, you know you've done a pretty good job. So my dad used to race motorbikes when he was younger, and so did my uncle. So I very much just started riding motocross bikes at quite an early age, and then decided it hurt far too much when you fell off. And then I don't think my mum was too keen either, to be completely honest. So ended up going go-karting just as a birthday present, thoroughly enjoyed it. And then from there I actually started go-karting, just doing club race and stuff. And then before you know it, it just kind of really developed further and further.
I started in Honda Cadets, which is a sort of like an 8 to 12 category. I moved into Mini Max after a year in Honda, which is like a bit of a step up, a bit older. It's where I met Lewis, a teammate, and we've known each other since so I was 13 and he was 16, 17.
Just starting uni to go up into radical sports cars, and once again it all just developed from there. You know, everything initially was just a bit of fun, hobby, take it very seriously, but never really aiming to make a career out of it. And then, yeah, you know, things just develop and you start to get better, you win a bit more, and, you know, see how that sort of snowballing effect continues.
My dad stopped me to get my GCSEs at 16, which is a bit of a shock. So I had a few years off, came back after sixth form and started racing radicals. And then he stopped me again for uni. So I went to uni, got a degree, came back, and I raced in Porsche last year in the Pro-Am category, and moved into Pro this year. It's a great car. It's so challenging. I think the general consensus is that if you can drive a cup car well, you can drive pretty much anything.
Probably the most rewarding car I've ever raced, and also the most frustrating.
The weight's all in the wrong place, it's hard, it locks, the brakes are a nightmare to not lock up.
And obviously the engine is at the back, so that can make it quite tricky when you first get in the car. The rear tyres heat up incredibly quickly with the engine at the back. The fronts take forever, particularly in the winter. You know, your front tyres are cold, your rear tyres now overheating. And every time you get a little bit quicker, you kind of take 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
It's got plenty of power and the racing's close, so it's so easy to overdrive. And I think if you're too eager to try and get that lap, that's where it goes wrong.
You're always fighting understeer. But if you can really master driving this, you can pretty much jump into anything. And that's why they're so rewarding. You know, when you get a lap correct, you know you've done a pretty good job.
The German efficiency, the reliability, I find the car easy to work on, easy to understand, and just the general aspect of the car. I like the engine in the back, the whole ethos of the car. It seems to work for my head.
I love the car. I won a few races in Pro-Am last year and I had 10 or 12 consecutive podiums, and it's always a great feeling.
Of course you've got that complete excitement. Sometimes it's a relief. You know, if you've got a half an hour race with everyone on your bumper for like 30 laps, that's quite stressful. So obviously you just you get over that line, it's like, all right, you can take a breath, you know you've done it.
It always feels like more of a relief than a celebration, if that makes sense. There's not much fist bumping going on and shouting, so it's just it's quite a relaxing, it's a weird feeling, but I love it. I mean, I'd win every race if I could.
But you know, we're here to win. You know, that's what drives us to passion, that's what makes you work. You know, 7 days a week, you know, training on the gym and simulator and fitness, and just keeping yourself really into the best performance, so whenever the opportunity's there, you can. And I think that's why all of us, particularly racing, we do just have that love, that drive to you know, be the best we can be and try and get that win and that podium.